but there shouldn't be any gifts to anybody. But there also, so nobody should be made to suffer for somebody else. So I think we're all looking to do it fairly, equitably, and if down the road it requires planning and we need some more wells, that's to everybody's benefit, not just somebody who's going to benefit from that particular well. I mean, our district is more capable, you know, we're just more resilient, we're having more alternatives and options. So I think we're stuck, Pete, with, you're going to have to tell us what you think we need to do, because I think you got at least 3 of us here that are a little, you know, I mean, he's been here so long we can name rocks after him, but the rest of us not.
It's really 2 issues, Pete. I think there's an issue of the place of use people that is a no-brainer, or due to some oversight in the annexation, we forgot to charge you this fee if your property is vacant. The other is got the problem of a moratorium, you know, and it seems a little bit unethical to charge these outside place of use ones until you lift the moratorium, because I mean, just the people who came in the other day, last meeting came in and said, well, you're back in, but oh, by the way, you can't get any water, and oh, by the way, your Cheeto well isn't working, and if it does work someday, we'll give you water, but then again, the moratorium has to be off. I mean, she's got a triple whammy there. So I think you could do the inside place of use ones as an administrative oversight, you know, mistake, but the others, why not? Cindy's shaking her head no over there.
Me?
No, Cindy was shaking her head. I don't know, why not, Cindy?
I'm to justify a moratorium, we're not short on water.
Yeah.
Well, I know that has to be lifted.
But I think the point is, though, that if that moratorium is lifted, and there are people out there that says, okay, I'm going to build my house, and now they haven't paid any fees into it.
Right.
So, but if we say everybody pays a fee, and they lift the moratorium, I mean, we wouldn't have any problem providing for that.
Well,
we could make it a provision of approving
Somebody there?
a change in the regulations
I
that
didn't think they were that one.
on the fee here we're talking about, condition, you know, that we do that first and then the moratorium goes away.
I mean, I guess the other thing too, we should find out how many properties we're talking about, 10 or 1,000 or what?
And that's
126.
Huh?
126.
Holy Toledo.
Wow. Well,
That's a big deal.
But that's another thing, though. We have people that are outside place of use that haven't built anything that are paying the fees. Am I right?
But then, not.
I don't think there's too many. Cindy would know that. How many?
Oh, I can't pull on that one
But
right
it's
now.
not fair to them.
What?
They're paying the fees, and these other people aren't paying the fees.
Yeah, that's correct.
But
Well, then if you want to get really technical, over where he is, you talk about Tim Erickson's property that's in dispute as to actually where the boundaries of the district are. If you look at our map here, it shows it on 132. It shows it on the other side of the school. It shows it halfway up the middle. That hasn't been resolved with the state as to exactly where the boundaries of the district are. If it would be over on 132, Tim's got, I think, 4 or 5 properties. If it's back over there at the school, he's got none, you know.
if those are all 1 acre, that's $7,600 a year.
They're not
That's
1 acre property.
I know, I'm just saying, but if they all were, it's only $7,600 a year. I don't want to throw that out in the street, but it's not a huge number.
Is that boundary thing the next item?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You know, you got to understand a lot of these are federal government, you know, some BLM land, you've got state land, you've got school, you've got a lot of owners association properties, you've got, you know.
I just can't see us making an exception for it.
well, it's not an exception. It's been some kind of administrative oversight.
Well,
We
that's
haven't
true.
made an exception.
But yes, it's true. But on the other hand, we have people that have been paying it right along, and now we've got these other people that we just found out. We're not, and I don't think it would be right now to go back and say you got to go way back and pay all of these fees. We just say it was an oversight. you need to start paying.
Okay, I got one for you, okay? The lady was here last week, right? She came in, she hadn't paid for I don't know how many years, was on the board and she wasn't paying. And she came in and you guys said, yeah, come on back, it's okay. And you let her come back, and she hadn't been paying all that time like you have and I have and everybody else have. You let her back in, and the other thing you did is you set a precedent that if somebody else wants to go out and not pay, based on what you did there, they can do that too. And you'd be damn hard to not let somebody leave for a year or 2 or 6 or 10 years and come back with open arms and hug us, say, come on back, and you don't know anything.
She's
That's
paying
what you did.
retroactively.
No, she isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're paying it retroactively back to
Oh, I
2011,
missed that. I missed it.
plus a couple $1,000s in legal and administrative expense to develop an agreement, plus interest.
So let's say I come in and I buy a parcel that was never in the district. Do you go back to 80 then? Is that where you're going to go?
There was never in the district.
Yeah, I'm going to annex a piece of property to the district. It's outside the boundaries of the district. I annex in. Where are you going to go back to, 1980?
You weren't subject to it then.
Oh.
Oh, gee.
However, the board does have the ability to adopt an annexation fee, and that fee would be based on
Cost.
some portion of that, recouping some portion of that investment.
Yeah. Because
That's not a retroactive assessment. It's a direct cost that we would identify in a plan, financial plan.
Because that person would not have been paying, so,
Yeah.
under that scenario that I said.
But last month, I think I had up in my head that she was gonna pay like $2,700.
Yeah.
No, well, 4,000 for the deposit to just get the agreement put together. Which
Well,
was
I believe some of the past availability fees were going to be taken off that 4,000 as well.
Yeah.
And the attorney fees and all of that comes out of that 4,000. And then within that resolution that you guys signed, if anything goes over that 4,000, they have to pay that additionally.
You guys see Wes's little thing in the paper?
It did not.
In the little-
I heard about it, but I don't know what it was.
Well, it's about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor.
Yes.
Go
It
ahead.
isn't.
What was it?
I mean, I'm sorry.
No,
There's a motion. The motion is, the recommended motion is to direct the staff to prepare a plan for implementation of availability of fees for all vacant parcels within the district boundaries.
That's fair. That fit the need?
I'll make the motion. All right. Can I get a second?
I wanna know if it fits his needs. Oh.
I'm just identifying an issue.
Yeah.
In reality, I think it's,
Yeah.
it needs to be addressed
Okay.
somewhere. Yeah.
Second. Okay.
Who seconded
Russ?
to approve the recommended motion?
Yes.
And let me just clarify, make sure that I'm correct about what that means. I would like to come back to the board with this list of 126 records. We'd go through and we'd identify which ones were owners association, which ones were federal government, which ones were state. It's not a matter of picking and choosing who's going to pay or not, but we could also identify how many of those were inside and how many were outside the place of use. Graphically, we'll make sure the electronics work. But that'll be the plan, and so we can say these properties we can definitely apply this to, and so when we return with the resolution in June of next year or July, then
I'd like you to return with your recommendations too, not just the description, recommendations.
Are we doing this with the understanding, because it isn't anywhere written, that this is not going to be used as operating funds, but it would be held for future development use for these people that are paying this money? Because that's what I think it should be.
You're talking about the.
I think that would come with the acceptance of it, or
It would be the next-
With a,
it wouldn't be in this motion, it would be
Yeah.
in the next one. If he made a plan and you guys decided to accept his plan, that would be a caveat that he could add to that motion, but it doesn't really apply to
as
this
long as
one.
that understanding.
Okay. So, all in favor, signify by No, we already gave him an I gave you an opportunity in this.
Yeah,
That
all
was-
I got
that was
two
30 minutes
separate
ago.
bills, so as long as I didn't get 20 bills.
Okay. We could look at your, and see if your name pops up on this a number of times.
Hey, you know what? Can I ask you a quick question? Now, my understanding, you have like 4 parcels, right? And you got building for 2?
I got, by Erickson, I got 2 parcels.
You don't have those others in between it? Because those would be, because I remember when Nichols came in here, somewhere outside place of use, somewhere in. And you, if it was outside place of use, let's say you had 4 parcels. 2 were, you got bills on, 2 you didn't. Is it that way or not? Because this motion, if that's the way you're situated, and I think you might be, you're gonna get billing for the other 2 if you have 4. Do you have 4 or 2?
I bought 2 parcels.
Just the 2, okay.
You only
Okay.
have 2. And are you getting, how much in total are you on your tax bills?
I think they're 182
A piece?
a piece,
Okay.
Where are these
And that's
properties?
appropriate.
right by the elementary school, at the end of the street.
What's the name of that little street?
Alquest, is that your last
No.
name?
Uh-huh.
It's
What is
under
it called?
Alquest?
Yeah, Hilldog.
ALQUIS?
Yeah.
You're on
and then-
Hilldog? Is that what it's called?
Then it goes up, and then there's a Zulit
Yeah.
Way. I got everything on a Zulit, everything in there.
Now, wait a minute. Now, see, if you say you got everything, that everything, I think is gonna, if it's within what we're talking about, you're gonna get a bill for those.
Are those separate properties than the 2 that you're
Separate
billing for
parcels,
now?
I got a 36 acre and a 27 acre.
And that's the only 2 properties you own?
That's what I bought.
And then you're getting billed 182 a year on each one?
On each property.
And you have no other properties other than those 2
You
with
said
the
you had anything
182?
else?
I don't have any other vacant properties.
Okay.
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 Okay. That-
I understand.
I got houses everywhere.
That's good.
Yeah, I recognize your name.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. So the motion passes, it's unanimous, we have 1 absent.
When will we be bringing that back? Next month or? Oh, wow.
Let's see how it looks.
Within the next 2 months.
Yeah, I'm just
Okay,
curious.
just because we'll start with that list, with the 126 list, and we'll go through it. And
Okay.
it's all the yellow.
Okay, so the next item is on page 35, and it's a report on the status of the completion of the State Water Resources Control Board's evaluation of the Merced Irrigation District's place of use boundary for water rights license 11395.
Boy, see how all these things tie together?
I know, I'm getting a headache here, but
Yeah, I know. The only thing that I wanted to be able to do with this, again, I was gonna graphically go around all the pieces, but I think I provided it in your packet. Legal descriptions are not that easy to read because they speak in terms of degrees and
Relationship.
distances and
relationship.
yeah, you know, give you a starting point and an end point. But the one thing is really, really clear about this particular issue that's in question. First off, we got an email message from the state when we submitted our digital maps that said, okay, we agree with you. We put this behind us. You know, we agree with you that you've resolved the issue, and I'm talking about the issue primarily in the area of the elementary school. Glad you're here today. Because we have maps that show what appear to be the boundary line in different places, okay? But the state said, okay, it was an administrative thing, we're done with it. Then immediately it got attacked. They received comments from the public. I am assuming it's someone from Don Pedro or a group or something that said, no, that's not the case. You're wrong. Look at that. That was never intended to be within that place of use. And so the state has called it back into question. I included that email in your packet as well, just where I thought it was done, I thought we had the foundation that you were looking for us, and then they blew it back up. So we've been pouring through old documents that we have been working with Elizabeth and Bob Binkley, our district engineer, to try to come up with anything that ties this all together. And it's like deja vu all over again. I can remember doing this stuff back in the 90s, but anyway, the one thing that California CAD Solutions said that helped me focus really was, first off, it came from legal counsel, who said that when the district was formed, it was formed based on its service area, okay? And its service area was the Sierra Highlands Water Company that was giving up their business for the district to take that on. So the district was formed, assumed the boundaries of the Sierra Highlands Water Company, which was a boundary on file with the Public Utilities Commission. Whether there was a legal description of Sierra Highlands or not is unknown. However, when the district was formed, a legal description was generated of the boundaries. Okay? When you follow that legal description, you will see that in that area, it describes it very specifically as following the county boundaries. Up and around the elementary school. It does do something that I'm still looking for a map about, but it does go due north at one point where it leaves the county boundaries at that section 39. So you'll see the 39 courses that I put a number next to. Does everybody see that? Did you?
Okay.
Let's go to. Okay.
38?
Starting, yeah, you probably can't see the page.
Is that the one you circled?
No. Let me just make
We're on
sure.
page 40, is that it?
Okay, there is, you could, oh God, I gotta zoom in on it. Man, my eyes are, I love these the fluorescent lights. They make me not be able to see it all. That was a joke. But on page 40, you're correct, Emery. Now that is a screenshot that I pulled from the software that we have, the program, where that red dotted line, you have a black and white copy? Okay.
I got colors.
All right. There is a dotted line along Highway 132. That is in red on my screen, but that is the district boundaries today. Okay? And I'm just looking at the area above the elementary school along 132. The original district boundaries, if you follow the legal description from when we were formed in 1980, follow the county boundaries in that area. So it's down below where it says original Ldpcsd boundaries. I don't know if you can see the highlighting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is what the next few pages represent. So if you go on to the next page, that was just an overview. I wanted to show you kind of the area we were looking at. The very next page is out of the assessor's parcel map book. And what's helpful about that is, for example, when you're at the bottom of that page 41, you can see on the left-hand side.
I wonder what board dishonesty is next. Hard act to follow campus digital map fix. Tried to reconfigure service POU. Watch out, Mr. Wicks, more bills for you. Lake Don Pedro, CSD. Is there something in our water worse than LSD? Might explain no director diligence. Has some contaminant eaten common sense.